You see the little shit going. That's a video.
What's up, fight fans? This is Counterpunch with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., Anthony Joshua, and Deontay Wilder. And this is what was said about Mike Tyson by Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones said that Mike Tyson, at age 54, could knock out Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Wow. Look, it's one of them things where in the heavyweight division, people might look at that and say, you know what, no way. You know, more than likely that won't happen. I think the thing is, if we're thinking theoretically, do we want to see that happen? I think what we would want to see, rather than Mike Tyson get hurt, is Mike Tyson hurting someone else. It's like that saying, as that saying goes, when you fight someone old, you're in a lose-lose situation. If Anthony Joshua fought Mike Tyson and he won, people would say, well, you beat up a 54-year-old. But if Anthony Joshua fought Mike Tyson and lost, got knocked out cold, his stock would drop because of the age of Mike Tyson. Now, what would that do for Mike Tyson? His stock would rise, definitely. Rise even more than it ever done. He would probably be considered like the era's best of the era's best of the era's best. Right? The king of the badasses regardless of age. Same thing goes for Wilder. You know, Wilder and Mike Tyson had this kind of Cold War for the past couple years or whatnot. Maybe 3. And according to Roy Jones Jr., he's saying that Mike Tyson could knock out Deontay Wilder too. Now, this is what I'll say. I will say the same thing about Deontay Wilder in regards to that. However, if Mike Tyson, in my opinion, counterpunching Roy Jones Jr., if Mike Tyson had a better chance to knock any of those guys out, would be Wilder, because we've seen Wilder pressured. What is Mike Tyson known for? Pressure. Okay, he's known to pressure you. He's known to get close to you because he's shorter than the most heavyweights. So he knows his technique is to bob and weave, to come forward, right? With upper body movement and ripping shots as he ducks and slips your own punches coming from a taller person. So would you rather be worried about 4 punches coming from Joshua or 2 punches coming from Wilder or 1 punch coming from Wilder? I would take the latter. I would take Wilder. Okay? I wouldn't want to get hit with uppercuts like Joshua, because we've seen Mike Tyson get hit by uppercuts from Lennox Lewis and it wasn't pretty. Okay? But someone like Wilder, he has a better chance to do exactly what Roy Jones predicts. Now, you could look at it another way, because I'm always good at looking at it in different angles. You could always say that Roy Jones is just hyping up, building up, promoting up Mike Tyson. So if he beats Mike Tyson and he says that Mike Tyson can beat everybody else, then he's better than all those guys combined. So it is clever if he's meaning to do that. That's just a theory of mine, because that is his next opponent. Exhibition or not, it does not matter at the end of the day. These guys are putting on gloves and these guys are throwing punches at each other. Counterpunch. But it does look interesting to hear Roy Jones Jr. say that, and based on heavyweights, we've seen George Foreman knock out Michael Moore. It can happen. Not saying it's impossible, but more than likely, yes. But then again, would you really want to see Mike Tyson go for that particular opportunity? Yes and no. Because I don't want to see Mike hurt at 54. Okay? But then again, if you've seen him knock somebody else out, or knock somebody out a lot younger than him, at the same time, you can't feel sorry for somebody that's still able to knock somebody else out. So it's a love-hate, it's a torn question with me. But it is interesting to hear Roy Jones Jr. say that. You guys tell me what you think of Roy Jones saying that Mike Tyson could knock out Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua at age 54. Of course, please subscribe. Forgive the mask. And you guys have been Counterpunch. Peace.